than there is for any other. I think that we've actually put a run for the money.
Mapachito's been coming along quite nicely. So a little background on these two. Adapt is, I'd say, the preeminent Raven player in NorCal at the moment. He's coming through from Sacramento. Turns up at a lot of events. Always does consistently really well. Mapachito, I never heard of. I think he's a Tekken player. Or at least that's how he described himself to me last week. But he had started playing at Wednesday Night Fights Guilty Gear a couple months ago and has just really been coming along with Ram just fine. And it's been super sick to see him keep turning out. And I remember watching a little bit of this match and just being impressed. So both these characters are basically zoners, but the way they do it is kind of different. And it can be hard to tell like what's a zoner in Guilty Gear because when a character is winning in Guilty Gear, hey, what up, DeChoy? When a character is winning in Guilty Gear, they are often in that ass, and so. In one sense, no one really looks like a pure zoner in the way that like Cable in Marvel 2, for example, or Dalsim in Street Fighter, like those characters, when they're winning, they're usually on the other side of the screen from you, right? In Guilty Gear, being a zoner means you win neutral from being outside. But when you win neutral, you usually turn that into a situation that lets you close the gap safely and apply pressure up close. There are very few times where a Guilty Gear character, no matter how zonery they get, want to be far away from you if they're winning, right? So the idea here is for these characters is really about figuring out how to get that first hit by forcing the player, their opponent, into an unpleasant position, getting that hit, and then turning it into a situation where they get to do some big damage, usually up close. As part of that, Ram's buttons aren't really that great. She has some very large, annoying ones, like her jump heavy. But overall, she kind of struggles a little bit when trying to land that first hit if she's just playing, like if she's mostly trying to move around and get up close.
I was hoping he was, so I could play.
A solid first round from Adapt. Raven is he's got some good ass buttons, and he's got some good projectiles. It's really easy for him to just carve off chunks of the screen. His mobility is a little bit weird, and actually, if anyone in chat is ever having problems with dealing with Raven, step one is just look at it, learn his attacks and his buttons and see what they do. But step two, this is something that I've actually been working on lately, playing against both Adapt and Babaloo, is Raven's mobility is actually pretty limited, right? He looks like he can do a lot of things. He actually can't do that many things. We'll see if we see a good glide get shut down. But basically, so that right there, that's actually a pretty good example. Like Raven, if he's up here, let's say, and wants to air dash, he has to do the glide down. He can change the trajectory a little bit. Like he can glide all the way over here. Or he can kind of land early, but he can't just do like an instant air dash like everyone else. So if you're used to playing against like a Soul or a Kai or a Chip or a Jam or any kind of normal mobility character in Guilty Gear, Raven actually, there's some situations that he can't deal with quite so easily. For example, like if Soul gun flames in Raven's face, Raven can't IED over it and punish it because he doesn't have an IED. The glide will just take him into the gun flame. So if you're ever having trouble with Raven, it's worth just picking up the character a little bit to learn more about what he does. Whew. So Adapt's doing a good job just kind of keeping up the pressure. And again, look, he gets the hit, reset to neutral, but he's already back in there. He's not rushing down per se. It's just that Raven's buttons let him start something from pretty far away. Oh, nice grab. Solid combo. Good dead angle. So that right there, like, I notice new players can often be a little bit loath to use dead angle. If you don't know what dead angle is, if you have 50 meter and you're blocking and you press forward and two attack buttons, two non-dust attack buttons, then you'll cancel out of your block stun and do an attack that kind of gets them off you, right? It's not guaranteed to work, but because you can cancel out a block stun, it's more likely to work. I think Leo Morelli, I think we covered that match in Thursday's stream. So new players are often a little bit reluctant to use dead angle because it's so expensive for meter. But like, this is a pretty good example of a textbook situation to use dead angle, right? Mapachito is knocked down. Adapt already has 1 round on him. Mapachito can take basically one even small combo, and that'll be enough to kill him, right? And then Adapt leaves the ball on him for mediocre. Like, you know that Raven's going to be running in there and trying to do something with this frame advantage. And yeah, Mapachito could try and block right, and maybe if he does it right, then he can get out of the situation, then he's got some meter to work with. But nah, fuck that. Like, 50 meter to return to neutral and actually get yourself a slight advantage is a bargain in Guilty Gear, and I highly recommend using it. Especially when you're about to die. Fuck it. You just need to stay alive. In Guilty Gear, this is an adaptation point that people coming from other fighting games often have a hard time with. In Guilty Gear, the odds that you will successfully block a mix-up or two from a knockdown situation especially, and escape unscathed are very, very low, even if you're good at this shit. So if you can spend meter to get yourself out of it, whether it's FD, Blitz, Dead Angle, Burst, whatever, you should probably do that shit. And Denim Daddy, yeah, Biken players tend to think about this stuff differently because you have a counter. And so you can always be thinking about the counter, right? Which is why I say this all the time, but different characters teach you different parts of the game, right? I did not have to learn Dead Angle or Blitz quite so intensely because the Chip is a DP, and so I can just Roman cancel the DP and spend the meter that way. But still, sometimes you want to learn to use Dead Angle and Blitz. And learning other characters has helped me kind of mix that up a little bit.
Shout out to Mo saying, like, after all the rollback netcode discussion, you have to beat him in fucking IAM.
We'll just turn down me yelling about something that's not the match. Hey, what up, Aaron? Hell yeah, get him. So this right here is what Ram looks like when she winning, right? All that pain that we just saw Mapachito suffer through, right? Gets one hit, okay, the burst, gets that counter hit far S, blah, blah, mid-screen. Adapt is mashing tech, got caught. I think a more solid Ram player probably would have gotten that corner conversion off just one combo. I don't know, though, because I don't really know her combos. But yeah, like, it fucking sucks to lose neutral against Ram. It fucking sucks to get hit by Ram. Just because she's got a whole bunch of nasty situations she can put you in once she lands that clean hit. And so Ram can be very feast or famine as a character. So yeah, that was a solid first round from Mapachito. Again. Also, actually, this is one more thing worth pointing out. So like, Adapt used his burst pretty early in that round. It was on one of the first clean hits that Ram landed. He died almost immediately after. But because Ram has to hit you so many times to kill you, like her combos just have a high hit counter. Hey, what up, EC Dojo? Getting hit by Ram actually builds a lot of burst very quickly. So it's in your interest when you're playing against Ram to burst against her pretty quick, because if she hits you, you'll get it back. Like, if Adapt was playing against Slayer and got ran over that quickly in that first round, he wouldn't have nearly as much burst. But here, he gets it again. This time it works.
Shoutouts to Ram having such a big JH that she can hit on the way up during to punish that throw. Burst comes out, gets blocked.
Actually, this is interesting. Let's rewind. Let's see this round again. Hey, Sam Chusky, thank you so much for the 9 months, homie. I appreciate your support. All right, so the trading hits. Boom. This is where he bursts out. So they're reset. Here they're at neutral. Raven chucks a pin. That inhibits Ram's ability to move forward quite so quickly. So here, they both are moving forward, and they both press a button at about the same range. Both get counter hit. It's a trade that's fine. Raven moves in a little bit faster than Ram does. Oop, fuck. Oh no, what happened? I think I skipped ahead. Yeah. Trade. Adapt controlling space, manages to stuff Mapachito running in.
But Raven's still in the corner. You're gonna have to make something happen.
Mapachito with a nice conversion.
I do not remember Mapachito having these.
Put him in the Ram blender. Ooh, wake up super.
Ram's got full meter here. Got a lot of butter to play with. Oh, gets open.
So that would have been a great opportunity for a dead angle. There, we got it eventually.
First half. Now they're even on meter.
Woo.
Raven coming through. Is he gonna be able to kill off this? No. Got a reset opportunity.
Oh, danger time.
Oh,
Get him. Oh, the burst comes out. So yeah, burst kind of fucks up Ram a little bit like that because she just gives the opponent so much burst meter. But Mapachito almost took that one. Oh. Yeah, solid conversion from Adapt. I think he takes this round pretty solidly.
corner pressure, but runs up, gets clipped. That's enough to let Ram start her bullshit, but she's not able to get started.
Doink.
Now she's
Yeah. So yeah, Raven has a tendency to be able to put you in the blender as well. It's not quite as oppressive as Ram's mix, but it's still pretty good. Adapt's obviously very good at what he does. Nice baiting the burst.
in a commanding round 3 so far for Adapt. You might say he's adapted.
So let's go ahead and watch that round again real quick.
We got ourselves a fucking scrap.
The main thing I want to point out here is that even though this last round was a pretty solidly a one-sided round in Adapt's favor, each of the hits is like just barely a little bit ahead, right? So here, Mapachito picks a poor round start option versus Glide. Honestly, I think almost anything that Mapachito did besides Slide probably would have worked okay here. That happens. Doesn't really pay too much of a cost though, right? Like the cost of being wrong at round start is you get pushed in the corner, you got some risk, you took a little bit of damage, but the pressure normally I think ends pretty naturally after scratch. So now we're back in neutral. Chucks a pin, whiffs a poke. This is so the moment that Adapt whiffs that, I think it's stand punch and then jumps back, it's Mapachito's turn to do something, right? Ugh, skip those frames. Does Twitch have like a frame by frame or no? It does have, it has speed.
Converting off a straight hit, I like it. Needle.
Anyway, checking some more. Okay, you get that. Just barely whiffs that poke. Like this round might have gone completely differently if Mapachito had hit that far S. Misses the block. Hey, Binary Gamer, I'm so glad to hear it. Was it for gear or for something else? Oh, yeah, the PRC misses the block high. Burst gets baited.
In a commanding round 3 so far for Adapt. You might say he's adapted.
Yeah. So if we went back as Mapachito and we were trying to look at this match and understand what we could do better, the first thing is just defense, right? Like on average, Adapt is able to off any advantage in neutral, even if it's just forcing Mapachito to block something, Adapt is more likely to get damage off of it than Mapachito. Now, Mapachito is able to do a lot of damage at certain points, but overall the conversion rate wasn't as good and like off a clean hit. And when Mapachito had gotten Adapt to block something, it wasn't really that scary, right? So I'd say if I were watching this again as Mapachito, the point to take away here is I need to learn how to defend against Raven. Now let's see how Adapt does against Popo Ring. Like a nasty ass Leo player. I say nasty in the entirely complimentary sense, of course. Popo Ring's a lovely person. Has thrown down for newbie pizza at Guilty Gear at the beginner Guilty Gear tournament before. Schnasty. So now we got Babaloo on commentary. Another excellent Raven player, recently moved to the area.
Right, yeah. Makes sense.
Whew.
We got Adapt on Astalon pushing him out. Ooh. Already takes Leo's first.
Oh,
But now,
good conversion.
both reset their first.
So notice the range at which Adapt is pressing buttons here. If we watch this intro 20 seconds again.
Right, yeah.
press a button at round start makes sense. Oh, fuck, it skipped again. He's just pressing buttons a little bit earlier than Leo early on, and that's how he's able to get the hit, right? Like, he actually whiffed that jump S, which I was surprised by. But overall, like, Adapt is really good at gauging the range of his buttons and hitting with the very tip of it. And that's very powerful for Guilty Gear. And that's not just saying I know the range of my buttons. That's also saying I know your movement speed and time and velocity relative to mine. So I know the earliest possible place and time that our buttons can intersect. I'm going to make sure I have a hitbox there. Oh, another thing, handy tip when you're fighting against Leo players. So Leo has a flash kick. That's his invincible reversal, right? A flash kick, if you don't play Street Fighter, you have to charge down or down back and then do up and an attack button. In this case, it's probably slash and hard slash. Just like Guile's flash kick in Street Fighter 2, which means that every time you see Leo crouching, he's getting that flash kick ready in case you do something, right? Which means that Leo players are just more likely to be holding down back than your average Guilty Gear character because they want to keep that on deck, right? So Adapt glides in. Popo Ring doesn't have the flash kick ready then, so he doesn't manage to flash kick the glide on reaction. Now Raven's standing next to him pressing buttons, and he gatlings into 5D, and that will just work a little bit more often against Leo players than everyone else, just because they want to keep charging that flash kick. Hey, I can fly. Thank you so much for the follow, homie. Welcome to the crew. Oh, not quite dead. He's got the meter to make it work. All right. Oh. I wonder what Adapt went for there. Oh, this is another important thing to point out, something that I don't pay nearly enough attention to. So check this out. Popo Ring, almost dead, got 25 meter. He's blowing up Adapt right now, but he gets a knockdown, right? And what he's going to do here is he's going to do Leo's slow fireball, and then he's going to YRC it. See, right here. One reason to YRC this is that it gives him better advantage from that knockdown, right? So he gets the fireball out, which means he's got this like big-ass hitbox covering his approach. But the YRC means that he'll recover faster, and also that Raven will slow down so that basically Raven has less time to do something, right? Raven is going to have to block this. Not only does he have to block this, I mean, Adapt would have to block this no matter what because he's got no resources to work with. But one important thing about YRCs in meaty setups that often goes unnoticed or like that people don't pay attention to until it kills them is that when you YRC, you eat the opponent's input. So whatever your opponent was doing besides blocking, basically, on the frame that you YRC, like if Adapt had been trying to press a button or maybe even trying to backdash or something, that input would most likely get eaten because the YRC basically doesn't let anything else happen on the frame that it comes out. Which means that if you're using a YRC in your setup when you're pressuring somebody, not only are you getting a better advantage out of whatever situation you're about to get, you also stop them from doing shit like wake up blitz, wake up DP, any of your wake up options. Often like they'll just fuck it up because somewhere in those frames where they're doing the motion to do whatever the input is, your YRC is going to make it harder for them to do it. So like Adapt kind of had to block that, even if he had resources and shit. Woo! Oh, and the knee drop comes through clutch. Nice round start, P. Adapt is getting really comfortable running up with Raven. Ooh, I like that tech trap. Nice scratch. Woo. Oh, good blitz. Hey, Blinky's coat. Thank you so much for the 2 months, homie. I appreciate your support. Woo. All right. I actually want to point something out real quick. That right there was really cool. So I really like the way Adapt plays Raven because I can tell there are lots of situations where Adapt knows not just the like first and second most likely outcomes of whatever situation he's put you in, right? Like the most common responses, but also the third and fourth. Like he had that blitz ready to go. I'm sure it was one of just many options that he had on deck, right? And you can tell when you're playing him that he's just ready for multiple things to happen in any given like scramble situation, right? But the funny thing is, and this is kind of the flip side of it, is that it means that every time you put him in a situation, he has to very quickly calculate not just what's most likely to happen, but also the next 3 most likely outcomes or whatever of what's about to happen. And I'm convinced if you watch us play in tournament, there are a lot of times where I can get him to like gold burst from like the opposite side of the screen because he's thinking, oh, this guy's going to teleport in on me and I got to be ready for all the different teleports and all the different things he does. And this is going to be a good gold burst opportunity. And I just do the punch teleport because I know he's looking for a teleport. I don't care what he does, because he will do something that takes longer to recover from than my teleport does. And so I've gotten the frame advantage, right? Now, obviously, getting him to whiff gold burst at full screen is like the optimal outcome by like 100%, right? But even if I can get him to jump because I've done a P teleport, I then get to run up and I am at an advantage, right? I can run up in 6P or 2H. I can try and catch him on the way down. He's in the air and he doesn't necessarily want to be there while I'm running at him on the ground, right? It's how I can get a frame advantage in neutral by baiting out something that's just higher commitment than the thing I did. That's why Chip's P teleport is so nasty. Solid burst baits. Good blitz. Oh, nice buttons. That's game 1 for Adapt. I don't know if you saw that, actually. I'll rewind this. Adapt. Adapt thinks that was 2 because he was just working that hard. Watch, if you're ever at a tournament with Adapt, just watch how hard he hits his buttons. This dude, I swear to God, like, if we gave him a massage, he'd probably get a lot better at Guilty Gear. Yeah, round start glide, putting that pressure on. Woo.
Zoomers coming in asking what Guilty Gear is, dabbing all over the place.
Oh. I mean, people say I hit my buttons hard, but I hit my buttons hard because I'm used to playing with shitty buttons. Adapt hits buttons hard, I think, because he just has a whole lot of tension in his life, is my guess. Anyway, that was a very quick first round by Hobo Ring. Shouts to Leo doing Leo things. We won't just write it off like that. Let's see if there's anything we could have done better here. Yeah. You get hit by knee bazooka, that happens sometimes. I fucking hate silent buttons.
These zoomers coming in asking what Guilty Gear is, dabbing all over.
Gets caught. Gets caught again. I don't know what he was trying to do there. Yeah, he just keeps on trying to jump out. He's being, you know what it is? He's being pretty impatient with his defense here. Let's see, is that enough? Yeah. Now, I need my buttons to get that clacky clack, just like my keyboard buttons. I got blue switches, so you know you can hear my ass typing throughout the whole fucking apartment here. So real quick, in general, I'd say like most of the time when you're defending in Guilty Gear, hey, what up, Ben? Most of the time when you're defending in Guilty Gear, like, you want to be ready to do something, whether it's like pushing a button or jumping out or FDing or blitzing, whatever. What up, Urushi? But in general, plan on blocking for the first like 2 or 3 hits. If you block 2 or 3 hits, then you've probably pushed them out to a range where they're pressing far buttons, they're pressing slashes and heavy slashes, stuff that might whiff if you backdash, stuff that might not catch you out of jumping back, that kind of thing. Now, of course, if someone detects that as a pattern, they can take advantage of it and just make you block 2 buttons and then run back in and you're back where you started. Oh no, more power outages? That fucking sucks. But on a base level, the cheapest way to get out of something is just block the first 2 or 3 hits of whatever string that's coming. You know, look for the overheads, look for the run up throws, whatever. But plan on blocking, maybe FD if you've got the meter in good position or whatever. And then you either backdash out or you jump out, maybe instant air dash out of the corner, whatever it is. Adapt is not doing that when he's defending here. He's kind of scared, right? So like Popo just blocked like 4 or 5 attacks, no problem.
Wow.
Right? Gets hit, fine, happens, whatever, burst.
These zoomers coming in asking what Guilty Gear
It's
is.
a bit of a scramble, gets hit again, yep. I don't know what he's doing here. He might have tried to go for Waco Blitz because he's got the meter too, right? But he just eats shit here. Gets chopped up. Gets caught jumping out. So he ate a meaty fireball and then a meaty, I think that's 2S. And then immediately tried to jump out after that. So, of course, he's going to get caught. He's still way too close. Again. All right, I think that he just missed the block there. And then, yeah, the unblockable, that happened. It's a thing. So now, yeah, now we're blocking a little bit more. Look at that. That was really good. Let's see that again. Round start. Okay, gets whiff punished. Knocked down in the corner. But he blocks, jumps back. Now he's good. Right? Let's see, what was it that Leo whiffed from the jump back? I think that was far S. Yeah, alright. Gets the dunk. 5D doesn't work this time. Knee drop gets caught. Burst gets caught. Popo Ring, why are you so good? Oh, nice. All right, we have full excitement. Oh, nice blitz. Blitz back doesn't quite work. Oh, good 6P. Hey, what up, Sorensen? A solid game too from Popo Ring. If you look at that round, so again, right, in the spirit of trying to figure out why it is that we as players would win or lose any given round, like if we look at this whole round, right? Leo gets a hit, cool, does his thing, not much happens. Raven gets a hit, does his thing, not much happens. Leo gets a hit. Leo gets another hit. Oh. Raven gets a hit. Not much happens. Raven stance that thing to get a whole bunch of excitement. Gets a hit. Okay, we got some damage. Leo gets a hit. Woo. Raven gets a hit. And then I think he kills on this one, right? Yeah. So this that last round there, right? Like it wasn't a combos problem, right? Adapt's problem here wasn't that he didn't do enough damage on his combos, right? His problem was that he kept on losing neutral. The number of hits that he got in neutral were just fewer, right? He actually got about the same amount of damage as Leo did. Like most of those Leo conversions were not that big, right? Leo wasn't getting big damage. That wasn't like a huge like 40, 50, 60% combo. That was 7 very small combos versus 3 kind of small combos, right? So if we're trying to diagnose that last round, the difference there was basically just that Popo, the Leo player, kept on winning the scrambles and was just choosing better options in neutral. Again with the opening string. I really like that right here too. If we look at this. So Popo's looking at the situation. He knows that the pressure stops after the scratch, right? What does he do? Well, as we were talking about on Thursday, a lot of people, their instincts would be to swing or to throw a fireball or just do something. You want to put a hitbox out on the screen, right? But Popo Ring doesn't do that. He just FDs and double jumps out. Yeah, he gets hit there. That's fine. Whatever. this is really smart, right? One, Raven isn't really known for like picking off double jumps out of the corner with air throws, especially from that range, right? And if anything, Popo Ring's probably thinking, oh, Raven, it wants to like wait for an opportunity to press a button, get me to block, and then run back in and keep pressuring me in the corner. But Popo Ring, I think, correctly realizes that the biggest advantage that Raven has in this situation is that Leo's in the corner and Raven isn't. And so any hit that Raven gets is going to be more valuable because it keeps Leo in the corner, right? In the corner, every character pretty much gets to do more damage. They get to get better Oki. They get to get pretty much whatever they want. Every hit that you land in the corner is more valuable than one that's landed outside the corner, right? And so Popo Ring just says, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to eliminate that advantage you have, and you're probably not going to do anything about it. And he basically doesn't. So now we're back in neutral. Okay. Adapt does not do that, right? This is Popo Ring getting out of the corner. Now Popo Ring goes back in. Adapt has put himself in the corner. Bursts. His ass stays in the corner. Nice. A really smart decision making by Popo Ring, just taking the easy way out. Leo players, they take the easy way out. Woo. God damn.
Fucking Popo Ring just like blacked out there.
It's a little weird dealing with two different things. You do like different speeds.
See, look how different Adapt is playing now that he's one round away from, I think, getting knocked out, because this is still first to two. Look at this. So Adapt's going to press a button, I think, on start. Oh, he just runs up. Okay, runs up, 5K, gets bursted out. When he gets bursted out, he immediately goes right back in, right? He could have stayed out here and tried to set up and throw like a ball or a pin or something. Hey, nice, GB. But he jumps. He jumps forward. He jumps the forward kick, and he just gets caught. Gets the hit, goes back in.
Thank you for appreciating my work, but credit goes to
Ooh, nice throw.
the most elaborate stream. You seriously gotta check him out.
Curl Factor, that sounds like a huge pain in the ass. I'm not trying to do that for a weekly.
No, I think
Besides, then I have to sit away from everybody. It's no fun.
Keep on going back and forth, back and forth.
Straight up, one of my favorite parts of running Guilty Gear at Wednesday Night Fights is knowing that every time, whenever I say something on commentary, the players can hear me. It's meant to create a lot of teachable moments. But yeah, look, so Raven is now moving in a lot more. It's kind of working out this round, but it's definitely scary as hell. Oh, jump back. Oh, gets caught. Nothing big though. So Raven is just cornered. Adapt has just cornered himself as Raven. One of the things that does is that increases the value of Popo's burst, right? Normally you think, oh, a burst could get me out of combos or whatever. Popo uses it to keep Adapt in the corner, which I really like for a couple of reasons. One is he stops himself from getting damaged, right? Boom. You know, he didn't take that much damage. Raven has a hard time getting out of the corner because, like I said earlier, he can't instant air dash, right? So normally most characters in Guilty Gear will get out of the corner by jumping up and then air dashing over, like literally over the other person. So if Leo is standing here, Raven just goes bloop and he's out, right? And they have to like pick him off with an air to air or an air throw or whatever. Raven can't do that because of his glide. So keeping him in the corner is actually worse for Raven than it is if Leo had blitzed against like Chip or something. Swinging. Oh, Leo puts himself in the corner. He's real thirsty for that cross-up. I would like to see him keep the corner position. Nice full screen parry. Fuck that shit. Oh, I hate that so much. He hates it. But yeah, they're trading hits here, right? Like, and they're about even on life, but like Leo has generally had to do a little bit less and gotten more out of it. Oh, that's a clutch flash kick. Good buttons from Leo. Oh, the mix. Nice block from Adapt. Manages to get around that 6P and hit him. God damn. Woo! Yo, that run up 5K has been murdering him this match.
Elbow taking it.
That was a very, very close set.
Yeah. I honestly don't think it's the play for Raven to be running forward in this matchup. I just don't think that makes a whole lot of sense. But I get it. And like sometimes it works. Raven's dash is really good. He's got some invincibility during it. But when it blows up on you, it blows up in your fucking face. All right, let's see who's next. Oh, Pepsi versus Apology Man. All right, we'll watch this one, then we'll open up the lobby.
They just have like so many spin-offs.
Faust versus Potemkin is a weird ass match, y'all. It's also nice to see Vineeth like kind of getting back into Guilty Gear. Woo!
Yeah, it's the 3v1.
Way to fucking hammer fall through the unblockable trampoline.
Bar slash, he's out. Pop back through his 5H.
Yeah. Ugh.
You got
Meaty
spring OP,
trampoline.
boys. Literally unblockable OP.
Oh, I like the burst bait there.
Alright.
Hey, what up, Madao?
Pepsi. I don't know what happened. Probably it's projectile,
I
right?
mean, Pepsi knows exactly what and when to flip.
Right.
Solid first round to Apology
It's
Man.
disjointed from you. It's like a projectile or something like that.
Yeah. Oh shit, we got a raid going.
Oh,
What's up, Mistress?
Pepsi hit me with that like 5 times when we played a couple months, like I think a month ago. Oh, yo, was there a raid? Damn, it didn't show the notification. Oh wait, no, that was on this stream. That was on the VOD and not on the current stream.
He's got Faust in the corner with no burst.
I got
Scary.
baited. Also, this right here is the power of the corner.
One pop buster's gonna do it, or this.
This matchup can get sharp as hell just because Faust doesn't have great tools for getting out of the corner. You can go for a teleport, I guess. His movement is pretty slow. Like his air dash slow as hell.
Now, so we're gonna run the rest of the games on the stream.
All right,
Yeah, Pat's scouting in the background.
man.
Ooh, nice flicks from Pepsi.
All right.
Your lovely husband with the big mouth.
Oh,
Oh man.
good conversion.
Vertex. Oh man.
Oh, the oil comes out.
Okay. Gets his knockdown.
Oh,
That's the biggest of empty jumps. He couldn't move forward. Dude, the man tried. Dude, he literally tripped on the oil.
oh, nice backdashing the weight.
Yeah, it's really close. Oh.
Good flex.
Oh, that's it.
So
Sasuke.
one of I have been saying for a while now that I think Pepsi is one of the
First game.
one of the most slept on players in NorCal, and that young man has big things ahead of him should he choose to continue playing Guilty Gear. But one of the reasons why I really like his pot is that he's just really good at getting those flicks. Like whenever you put a projectile out, he will fucking flick it. If you might not have even known that the thing you were putting out was flickable until you play against Pepsi and he flicks you.
Not afraid.
Pepsi flicks scare me. I'll be chucking shurikens from full screen, and at this point, like he and I are in like Yomi layer 7 or something when it comes to okay, so I'm gonna throw the shuriken and he's gonna flick it, and then I'm gonna teleport. No, I can't teleport over him because then he'll Trishula. So I'll teleport behind him and wait for him to whiff the Trishula, and then he's gonna do some other shit, and so on and so on and so on. Exactly, Leo.
Oh, he tried to flick it.
Who knew Answer's homie was a projectile? And yeah, part of it is reacting, but part of it is also just knowing, like,
Making sure that armor still works.
the travel rate of a projectile and the startup of a flick means that he'll be able to get a flick in this time. He's so good at it. See, look at that. Faust's bag is not an easy projectile to flick.
Now he's probably dead.
That shit moves diagonally.
Yeah, probably good move to leave that burst for final round.
Yeah, it's fair.
Ooh.
Oh,
When Pepsi's got that momentum.
all right. That good move, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, get that donut.
A little snack on the way.
Man, I don't want a donut. Do you flick the explosion? I don't know. It looked like Pepsi flicked the bag itself. I wonder if the explosion is also flickable.
Did you backdash right at that moment?
Yeah, I think he did.
Hell yeah, Madao.
Called it out, but like smart enough to know that shit.
I highly, as someone who's been digging into other characters the last couple months now, it has done a lot to help me feel more competent and confident about this game. Like, learning other characters has made me better with chips, straight up.
Oh, he gets his armor.
Oh.
Oh, the hammer slows him down.
Oh.
Oh man, far slash. So it's 1-1 right now.
So this is when the game right
Yeah, final game, no matter what happens. Oh, no air throw.
Ooh.
Mega fist, mini fouls.
Big punchy, big grabby. What do we get next? He likes to go in with the
Now he's in the corner. This is kind of scary. If that one of those 6Ks hits.
Playing Millie has made me realize that neutral can be hard. Yep. Absolutely. Hey, B-Boy CD, thanks for the follow, homie. Welcome to the crew.
Put the corner carry on this.
Woo.
Alright, here we go.
Oh, wake up, 5D.
5D.
Oh, grab that.
Little man's coming though. I got you. Don't worry, Dad.
Oh.
Hmm.
Good answer. But still gets hit with really good edge.
Dude, little man's still coming though. Has he seen
Yeah,
it?
I think he is.
Okay, he saw it.
Oh.
He was
Nice back
taking
dab.
advantage of the confusion
Yeah, I know, right?
with some.
Throwing fucking everything up. This man playing a tag game and he'll
Yeah, EC Dojo, that happens until it stops happening. Like, at first, you're gonna play worse on your main. And especially if you only know, like, if you're only messing with one other character, then you're going to cross those streams. But once it's a matter of, like, your 5th character and your 6th character, it becomes pretty easy to compartmentalize the bunch. You just need practice. Like, right now, you don't know how to... Alright, so real quick, I was going to say, to finish the thought with EC Dojo, like, if you find yourself getting worse because you're playing your secondary, the problem is that... it's because that's your second character. You don't know how to play Guilty Gear. You only know how to play your character, right? But once you start picking up 5, 6, 7 characters, even if it's just the basics, even if you only play them for like a week or two, you put in like, I don't know, maybe 50, 60 hours with each one. Then you're learning how to play Guilty Gear, and any different any character specific stuff is part of what you're learning. But you can separate, this is what I know about Guilty Gear, but this is what I know about Millia or Biken or whoever. Yeah, Madao, and so that's also part of practicing with multiple characters, right? Is being like, hey, I know that I would beat you with this character, with my main, but instead I'm going to keep on taking these L's with my secondary. For me, it's actually a lot more fun, I think, because you want that feeling of I'm playing against someone and I'm adapting and I'm learning about this, and over time I'm able to like conquer them and get the absolutely B-boy. But you want that feeling of playing a long set with someone and at first you're getting bodied, but then at the end you can like start to get a couple games, maybe go even, blah 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 blah, right? But in Guilty Gear, if you're playing your main, maybe you have a year or 2 years or 5 years of just experience over the other person you're playing. They're not going to feel like they're getting that much better in the set, and you're also not going to feel like you're getting that much better in the set. And if, like, for me, one of the things that keeps me motivated and keeps me playing, keeps me having fun, is that feeling of overcoming, right? So if I can play against a weaker player, or someone who's weaker than my main, but I can play a secondary and we're having an even match, that's fucking fantastic for both of us, right? And then we both probably feel like we got a better set out of it. And yeah, even just context switching between characters gets easier when you practice doing it. Like anything else in fighting games, it gets easier when you practice doing it.
Dude, no, I was
Better be looking at what's in his pockets.
Whew, nice block.
He's trying to see if he can catch that going my way. I guess he's knocked down. Oh, no item. Okay. Going for the 2K OP. Oh.
Also, I swear to, I know Pepsi spends a lot of time in the lab. Actually, if you're in the anime Discord, you'll see him posting like Zato setups and shit. I've seen him play Zato like twice in person, but he will lab the shit out of any character, which I respect the hell out of. And one of the ways it pays off for him, oh nice. One of the ways it pays off for Pepsi is that he always has like the damnedest confirms off of anything. His shit is on point. Woo!
It's alright, Pot's a big boy.
He could take a couple hits.
Boink, 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 button.
Mini fell falling in. Woody got.
Pepsi desperately trying to
Oh,
knock him down.
go for that flick. I love it.
But we still got the fucking.
Shout out to Pepsi, y'all. All right.
Pepsi still